everybody, Susie Kerr-Wright, the Cosmic Cupcake, with your astrological forecast for October 29th through November 10th. Couple of really big days in there, Halloween and Election Day. Halloween's way more fun though. A void, of course, moons start Friday at 4:21 a.m. and stays void until Saturday at 2:43 a.m. That's a really long one there, when the moon moves into moody Cancer. Sunday, November 4th, 2:37 a.m. to Monday at 2:39 p.m. The moon's going to be void. Again, another long void, of course. And then it's going to move into generous Leo. Wednesday, 9:27 a.m. The moon is void, of course, until 10:35 p.m. when it enters analytical Virgo. And then finally on Friday the 9th, it's void from 6:27 p.m. to 4:35 a.m. on Saturday, when it moves into more balanced Libra. And that's probably about the only good thing that's not happening on Election Day, is there will be no void, of course, moon. Hopefully that'll help a little. So this forecast begins with the full moon in Taurus, which we are experiencing right now. That is the reason I'm doing this video at like 11:30 at night instead of earlier today. I just couldn't get moving. That's what Taurus energy is. It's very, I'm just going to sit here. I'm good. I'm going to stay right here. And it's really good for if you have a focused, very focused task that you're already working on. But I just couldn't seem to get anything done. So, but I'm finally getting this done, because I know, I'm sorry I didn't have a video for you last week, so I will do better. I'm definitely going to have this one for you and then one for next week for sure. So, because there's a lot going on. So now, if you've been watching these videos, you'll know that the full moons are times of culmination, okay? So when you see the fruits of your labor and you reassess and prepare for the next direction that you're going to go in, or the next thing that you're going to make happen here. So Taurus's focus is on material possessions, as well as kind of just being rooted and grounded. So, and luxury. So if you've been a little bit overindulgent, this is actually a really good time to set goals for more balanced spending. And if you haven't been overspending, yay, good for you. You'll certainly be looking at your relationships with possessions over the next few days, and what they mean to you, and how you can balance that out a little bit better, or whatever you need to do in that area. So the next big event that everyone's talking about, as I said, is dun, 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 Mercury goes retrograde again. Yes, it does, and we should all be used to this by now. But it does mess things up. I mean, it can't, you can't help but be a little bit mindful of it. Must respect the Mercury retrograde. That's what we have to do here. So anyways, this one, of course, as we know, is going to happen right on Election Day. And the last time this happened was during the 2000 election, and we all know what happened there. So we all learned a new word, a new term there, which was hanging chads. Remember all that crap? Yeah. So, and I believe it was like 35 days before they like officially announced that Bush was the president. So there's going to be some wildness. And then on top of it, we have Frankenstorm, which is currently hitting the Northeast. That's not going to help, of course, with any, with the electrical outages and the damage repair from all of that could spill over into this election process. So now Mercury rules high winds, and so right now it's in what's called its storm, and it's really kind of doing like what the storm is doing. I mean, there's this huge spin, but it's hanging in there. It's just kind of staying in one area kind of thing. So very interesting. And it's also Mercury is in Sag, which I'll talk about in a second. So, but I do want to let you know that I do have a whole video on Mercury retrograde, what it's all about, how to kind of navigate through it, the best things to do, and you really want to pay attention to that stuff. Remember, this is, even though it's not officially going to start retrograding until the day after Election Day, you really have to be mindful of it for about a week before and a week after. So this is a period of time you want to double check your details, and you leave extra time to get to and from work, and that kind of, any appointments you have or anything. Just be mindful of that. Another thing we need to be mindful of is the upcoming solar eclipse. Now, the eclipses are very, very intense periods in our years. So I'll talk about that in next week's video, though. Another thing that is happening is Neptune is going to come out of its retrograde on the 11th. Now, that's just outside of this forecast period. I said I was just going through November 10th. But when you have these outer planets, they move so slowly that their effects are felt. It's not not just on that day that they make that shift. It's usually for sometimes several months leading up to the movement. So this would be, a few days. So I would definitely say that we're going to start feeling Neptune's movement forward. Now, this shift is going to bring us into a different set of unknowns. It's going to be some interesting energy. I call Neptune the planet of what the hell is going on, because it can be very, very confusing. Now, if you're very well connected and very highly intuitive, you can really kind of ride that wave of understanding and knowing. But if you're like an average person, like all of us, it can be very, very difficult to see and to trust where you're going. You have to really have a lot of faith to be able to do that. So how strong is your faith? Anyway, so any areas where we might be feeling lost, unfocused, and struggling within the last 5 months, especially because it went retrograde 5 months ago, are going to start to come to the forefront again. Now, this time, when that awareness comes up, okay, you're going to see a higher purpose, or understand more that there's a source bigger than us that can maybe put these conflicts to bed for a while, here. Forgiveness and action in that direction is really, could very much be what's called for. So, and I'm just going to ignore that. Okay, so I decided to answer it. It was my wonderful husband, David. So I had to answer it. Okay, so this week for everybody, confusion factor for everyone across the board, okay? Readjustments here. We have to get used to this retrograde period coming up, but especially for Geminis, Virgos, and Sagittarius. You three are going to be the most highly impacted in that area. Intuition amps up big time for Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. So listen, put on the laser beam thinking, and you'll nail it. You'll know just what to do. Mood swings, big time for Aries, Taurus, and Capricorn. And Leo, Libra, and Aquarius, just take advantage of opportunities this week. So if you'd like to know where the stars impact you personally, you want to contact me. I'm the Cosmic Cupcake, Susie Kerr-Wright, and you can find me at astrogirl12.com. Friend me on Facebook under Astrogirl Susie, and also check out the Gypsy Wagon at yourgypsywagon.com or Gypsy Wagon Nashville on Facebook. You can find it there too. It has its own page. It has 2 pages. I don't know how that happened, but I have 2 pages under the same email address. Halloween night will be the last night at Slaughterhouse for this season. I hope I get to go back next season. So you want to make sure you don't miss out. If you're in the Nashville area, you've got to check out this haunted house. It's really awesome. You'll walk through your worst nightmares even before you get into the haunted house. So there's some pretty crazy stuff going on in the streets out there. Easy to park. Don't think you can't park because it's near the convention center. They have a whole square block area that's just theirs. So yeah, come on down, check it out. And also thank you all for all the wonderful birthday wishes. I really appreciate that. My birthday was fabulous, and I, as you can see, am still exhausted. So be safe, my northern friends and family up there with Frank and Storm. And until next week, have a great one. Bye.